Now what I found was about 1,200 limousines will be used and will be pulling up to the red carpet. Ben, the call for this fire came in just minutes ago. Now, as you can see behind me, it is a wildland fire. Yeah, Amanda, from where I'm standing, you can still see a ton of smoke behind me. It's starting to get dark right now, but that smoke is continuing to drift through the area. Talk about a major fire. I mean, the smoke was so big. I was over at Applebee's. We could see it from there. Now, the guys here say that they're going to try to get me to water ski next. I'm not sure about that. I think I'll just, well, put on my sunglasses, watch the sunset, and wait until spring to try out my next adventure here on the Missouri River. Now, looking ahead to the future here in Great Falls, Bill, where do you see the circus going? Hey, Ben and Katie, I'm at the Grown in Montana store at the Montana State Fair, of course. I'm joined with Cody Schick. We're having a great time out here. So, Cody, tell me a little bit about what's out here. Oh boy, I don't know if I'm daring enough to try the catapult, but what ride do you think you might be trying this year? You can do things like take pictures of animals, clean them up, brush them, play with them. It's just awesome. I love it. But I will tell you this, one company is saying that if you change one simple word in your email, it will make all the difference in your response rate. And 2 more tips from the Great Falls Job Service. Make sure you proofread every email before you hit send. The American Cancer Society says that colorectal cancer is actually the 3rd leading cause of death here in Montana, and that's why public health workers in Great Falls are also taking a very proactive approach to combat this cancer. Good evening, everyone, and happy Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm live at the Cruise and the Drag car show in Great Falls. As you can see, beautiful day to roll out the classic and antique cars, and those showers likely coming through the area later on. So again, satellite and radar showing those showers right now, though, on the outskirts of Great Falls. Temperatures across the nation, we're at the mid-20s in the Electric City. We're looking at 32 degrees in Salt Lake City, 18 in Minneapolis. So there are places colder than Montana on the map. And we're featuring Diesel as our pet of the week. And of course, he's looking for his forever home, aren't you? That's all we have. We're going to float away in the canoe now. So we'll see you later, Ben and Katie. Goodbye. That's right. I'm out here with 3 ladies who are making history. So we have Alice, Lisa, and Vicky. Tell me what you're doing out here in Montana all the way from Minnesota. For thousands of students across the state, their day starts and ends with a ride on a school bus just like this one. But that isn't the riskiest part of their day. Find out why people across the state are attaching these blue ribbons to their steering wheels and how that's keeping one teen's memory alive. There's a new scam in Great Falls, and it involves someone going door to door and asking for donations. Now, the plane you see behind me just landed with a full load of passengers, but dressing in warm layers can make all the difference. I'm wearing 3 layers of clothes, a nice warm hat, a scarf, and a pair of gloves. So I think I'm ready for my run. Even a first-time hunter like me found it really simple to use. All you have to do is take your handy cam right here, set it in place, and clip it in. Now, Fish, Wildlife, and Park workers found out that the water here at the Missouri River had receded, but at the same time, they learned that about an inch of water had come in here to the raceway. Because we've been enjoying a record-breaking February, so what better way to spend that than to come out here on the Missouri River? And then you'll have to stay through the 4th quarter, and that's when the winners will be announced. Hey there, Taylor. Well, if you picked up a coffee like this one from True Brew this month, I'm sure you've noticed the pink lids and even the pink whipped cream on top of your drink. Step number 1 is to make sure that your seatbelt is, of course, fastened and buckled up. It's also important to check the mirrors and make sure that visibility is clear all the way around the truck before taking off. And the second thing you need to do is make sure mail like this doesn't pile up inside your mailbox. It's about 50 degrees warmer than what it was yesterday here in the Electric City. However, high winds are going to be a concern. Gardening season is on its way, but don't let all this warm, sunny weather fool you. The last average frost date in the Great Falls area is May 15th. Bannock is one of the most famous ghost towns in Montana, the West, and perhaps the entire United States. I'm in the Mead Hotel, which was built in the late 1800s, and this building is said to be haunted by a 16-year-old girl named Dorothy. There are also more than 4,000 people living in the town at this time. Now, I'm standing next to the original sandstone wall. This right here is remnants from the fire dating back to January 1904. For some of the visitors who come here, it reminds them of the way life once was. Ben, Katie, one last look here at the circus. I felt adventurous enough to even take Harold out for a ride. We're having a good time here out at the 65th Annual Shrine Circus. And just a reminder, if you did miss the circus today, you can check it out tomorrow. You're going to see more acrobats, camels, elephants, even some tigers.
holding on.
All right, thank you so much, ladies. We're having too much fun out here, so I'll send it back to you in the studio. Out here at the Montana State Fair, it's the 85th Annual Fair. We hope to see you out here, and of course, we'll see you right back here at 9 o'clock. When you pull up to the drive-thru window at True Brew, it seems like every employee greets you with a smile.
Hi, how are you today?
And lots of enthusiasm. And inside, you'll find employees like Roxanne Hermanson hard at work preparing your fresh cup of coffee. And she says she loves everything about her job.
It's a controlled chaos, and I work best that way.
This month, Hermanson is topping your coffee off with a pink lid and pink whipped cream. But behind Hermanson's smile, there's an emotional story.
2 years ago, last month, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
When Hermanson broke the news to her bosses, they stood right by her side.
They took me aside and said, "We don't want you to worry about anything." They paid me full-time wages for 7 months.
During that time, some weeks Hermanson was too sick to make it to work. Sometimes she would work 10 hours a week, and no matter what, her bosses made sure she got paid. Now she's working full-time again and says the support from her work family is overwhelming.
When you take care of your people like that, my loyalty is unbreakable.
In fact, True Brew has supported breast cancer awareness right from the beginning when it first opened its stores 6 years ago.
We do have a lot of customers who have gone through breast cancer as well, so they get very excited to see all the pink stuff and to know that we're supporting them.
As for Hermanson, she just celebrated her 4th anniversary working here. She's now cancer-free and says she hopes to spend the rest of her working days here at the coffee shop that supported her, smiling every day next to the coworkers and bosses who helped her get back on her feet.
I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to pay them back any way I can. So I just want them to know I'm very grateful.
Reporting in Great Falls, I'm Melinda Zosh.
Come on, sweetheart. The vet's on her way. You can't give up yet.
This baby horse named Nitro was found rejected by his mother.
Come on, buddy.
After attempts to save him failed, he had to be put down due to neurological problems from inbreeding.
I'm very, very sad that something like this would happen anywhere near our community.
Horses with deformed legs from the inbreeding, injuries. It wasn't, I don't ever want to see anything like that again.
But that wasn't the worst of it.
A mare that had been in labor tried to deliver her foal. The foal had died. For 5 days, that foal was stuck in her, and the owner would not cooperate with me for getting that mare some help.
This horse owner, who prefers to only go by Angie Lynn, says that the pregnant horse was one of about 50, living together on roughly 100 acres of land in Choteau County. To those who passed by the property, it soon became clear they weren't being properly cared for.
The owner didn't live nearby and rarely came down, so we would feed and water and make sure they at least were taken care of that way. And it's not just the injustice of not providing them medical care and letting them breed, but not handling them. You know, horses are social animals. They need to be handled.
Using social media to her advantage, Angie Lynn took to Facebook asking for help to round up the horses so the livestock inspectors could have a look. Choteau County Livestock Inspector Curtis Owen was one of the first to help out and says he was shocked at what he saw.
Folks in our country here don't have this many horses on the property, and if they do, they're well taken care of as an income profit type of a situation.
With pressure mounting, the horse's owner handed over her rights, including ownership papers. The challenge of finding 50-plus horses a new home had just begun. Angie Lynn said once again the community stepped up, and as of today, 50 of those horses have been adopted. Reporting in Great Falls, I'm Melinda Zosh. Melody Brown of Great Falls is known to her family and friends as a fighter.
I want to live. I'm not ready to die. I'm only 59 years old.
Last November, doctors diagnosed Brown with stage 4 lung cancer. They gave her only 6 more months to live.
It comes like this in a syringe.
Brown believes there's one thing that's keeping her going.
That I'm alive. today because of cannabis oil.
Every 4 hours, Brown swallows these cannabis oil pills. She says her medication calms her body and her mind.
Because a lot of times I get upset. You know, it's upsetting to know that you might not be here tomorrow.
Since her diagnosis last year, Brown says her life is turned upside down. She's given up her career as a lawyer, given up her home to move into this apartment with her son, and now a new state law could force her to give up her medication.
I'm not kind of worried, I'm extremely worried. I don't know what I'm going to do.
The source of her concern is Senate Bill 423, which became a law on August 31st. It limits the number of patients a medical marijuana caregiver can help. The law says that caregivers can provide medical cannabis for only 2 patients at a time, or 3 if the caregiver is also a patient. The Department of Health and Human Services says there are about 13,000 medical marijuana patients like Brown living in Montana. With the limited number of providers in the state, this law could leave these patients without access to their medical cannabis.
I don't understand how the legislature, none of whom are medical people, can make a decision that so adversely affects my life.
Brown is a board member of the nonprofit called Montanans Ensuring Access to Natural Medicines. And on September 7th, the group filed a lawsuit against the state, and their lawyer, Bruce Fredrickson, says their goal
is to hopefully prevent the state from being able to enforce that 3-patient limit, at least as it relates to those patients named in the complaint.
Brown's medical cannabis supply is almost gone, and doctors have now given her another 6 months to a year to live, and she says she'll keep on fighting. Reporting in Great Falls, Melinda Zosh, ABC Fox, Montana News.